Welcome back to Battle of the Rums Part 3. I'm Conor, that rum drinker, and today we're doing the Hedgerow qualifiers. If you've not seen the previous videos, take a look at those afterwards. They'll be kind of linked at the end. What we're doing here is we are trying to find the very best rum and Stratford Sodas combination. In the earlier videos, we've already done the tropical and the spiced. Today, as we've said, we're doing the Hedgerow combination. So we've got 6 rums in front of me, and they're all going to be scored out of 20. So the scores are 0 to 5, they're just not my cup of tea, you know, they're not for me. 6 to 10, good. 11 to 15, very good. And if we get any that are kind of hitting those kind of top marks, we've got our excellent range, which is 16 to 20. 20 obviously being the best of the best. We might see one, who knows? But let's find out. Let's take a look at the rums we've got today, battling it out to see if they can make it to the semi-finals and ultimately the finals. So first off, we have got Decorum over here. This is a spiced rum with rhubarb and honey. In the previous round, this was done with the tropical mixer, I believe. It did pretty well. It was pretty high scoring, so be interesting to see if it performs as well with the Hedgerow today. And then we've got Lazy Dog Slow Rum. This again is one, it's already got some kind of good vibrant flavours going on, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one works. Do they get lost? Does it kind of come through quite nicely? Then, one that's definitely not going to get lost in this is the Plantation OFTD. This is an overproof rum that packs a punch. So, previously, I think in the spiced, it was just too dominating for me. I found myself a bit like, losing the mixer. Then we've got Mercer & Co. Really looking forward to seeing what this one does. I think it's probably my, of the 6, this is the one that I'm expecting to perform the best, if not towards the top end of the scale. Then we've got our dark horse, or in this case our white rum. So we've got Duppy White in front of me, and so we're going to be putting that to the test. And then finally we've got Ron Cuvée, Anejo Suave, and they are our 6 rums. Okay, so as per the previous videos, I'm going to cut here, I'm going to do a quick bit of tasting, I'm going to scribble down some notes, and then I'll rejoin you in about 3 seconds in your time. So of all of the taste tests I've done so far, the previous 2 videos, and obviously playing around with these mixers in my own time as well, these were the 6 hardest rums, or rum combinations to compare by far. I'm just going to jump straight to the results really, and I think that will speak for itself. There were some surprises for me, but let's kind of work through them now. So starting with Decorum, I found this to grow on me. Initially it wasn't kind of giving me enough, but I kind of got halfway through the drink and the slight aftertaste then started to build for me, and I found it really enjoyable. On the nose, I found the Decorums to just come through so nice. It's got the rhubarb and custard sweet kind of vibe to it. And, you know, it's the flavour is on the finish, which is quite nice. So the Hedgerow mixer speaks for itself, and then the rum kind of comes in on the end. So for that reason, I'm going to bump this up from what I initially kind of dotted down. I originally put 10 out of 20 and thought kind of smack bang in the middle, it was enjoyable but didn't super sing for me. But after letting it build and kind of getting through the drink, I'm moving this up to a 12 out of 20. So into that very good range, and yeah. Moving on to the Lazy Dog Slow, and this one surprised me massively. It's my favourite of the 6, by far. It is slow forward, and that slow is very fast hitting, which, you know, I'm not gonna bypass the irony of that. The slow is very fast, and it's tart, and it's wonderful. It's the tartness of that with the Hedgerow, they balance beautifully. I will be surprised if this doesn't make it to the final. That's how good this combination is. For that reason, I'm giving it 16 out of 20. Originally I was on the verge, I was going to say 15, but that's so enjoyable. So enjoyable. So I'm going to go 16. like I said, very tart, slow forward. Moving on now to Plantation OFTD. In the spiced round, this didn't perform very well. I found it a bit overpowering. It was, you know, too run forward. But with this, the extra ABV really helps it sing. So it's warm, it's rich, and again, it's a really nice drink. Of the 6, it's the one that's got the most rum punchiness to it, just because of that kind of 29% in a kind of extra ABV on top of some of these. So far, all of these rums are sitting around the same mark. So we've got 12, we've got 16, and I'm putting this in at 13 because of that kind of warm, rich rumminess. And I mean, I don't need to say much more, do I? That's exactly what you want. Another one coming in at 12 out of 20 is the Mercer & Co. One that I was expecting to perform maybe a little better than it did. I do like this as a sipping rum. I do like it with a couple of the other mixers. There's not much more to say about this than that it's a good long drink. That's kind of it. I can't, where the others I could be like, oh, it's slow forward, it's tart, or it's punchy. It's just quietly confident and just sat there in the background just going, yeah, it's a good drink. So for that reason, 12 out of 20 and enjoyable. Not so enjoyable, however, is the Duppy White. I don't know if it's the Jamaican influence, I don't know if it's... I don't even think I could say it's because it's a white rum. It just doesn't feel very balanced. It leaves me with like a bitter taste in my mouth, and I don't want to go back for more. And again, I know that it's in the 0 to 5 range, and I didn't know how low to score it, if I'm honest. Like, that's where I was really stuck, is it just doesn't work for me. So I'm giving it a 3 out of 20, because, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my reason. It just doesn't work for me. It's not balanced. It doesn't work. So 3 out of 20 for the Duppy White. And another rum that I have to admit, the mixer combination for the Roncube, Anejo Suave and the Hedgerow, it didn't work. It's better than the Duppy White, but it's nowhere near as good as the others. And I think when we're doing a taste like this, we have to, as much as we're scoring these independently, we do have to compare them to each other. So if I'm giving a 12 here, then that is a 13, or that is a 15, or whatever it might be. As nice as this is, I couldn't tell you what rum this was. What rum this was. The rum's completely lost. So, whilst I can say that's a nice drink, that is completely the Stratford Sodas talking. So I have to give this kind of a good score. I mean, I don't dislike it. So where the Duppy White, I found it kind of not working for me. It's nice, but only because it's not doing something wrong. So for that reason, I'm going to give it the very bottom end of good. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 20. Because it's not... I wouldn't complain if I got it. I just wouldn't know what rum. It's a generic rum. So just to recap, we've got 6 out of 20, 3 out of 20, 12 out of 20, 13, 16, and then 12 again. So I think you'll agree that was quite an interesting result. Some of the ones that I didn't think would perform did, and some of the ones that I did didn't. I'd love to know your thoughts. Have you tried any of these kind of combinations here? Have you tried any other rums with the Hedgerow? Should I do a refilm with a couple of others? So let me know your thoughts. Drop a like. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not as well. There's obviously the semi-final coming up. We've got the final eventually. And then there's going to be lots of other content too. So we're doing some rum reviews, we're doing cocktails, there's going to be all kinds of things. So if there's a video or a topic you'd love me to talk about, drop a message below and hopefully we'll get something filmed for that too.